says I'm live. Okay. Um, well, I wanted to come on here and I got to remember that, and I wrote some things down because I already know a lot of people are commenting on this, but I just had to um, get my thoughts together on this whole thing. Every time we call bullshit, there's always that one person wants you to think rationally, but the shit don't add up. I'm sorry. Okay. First of all, the young man that just died, okay, was a high profile individual. He was he was every news station probably in the country, most major news stations, all over Facebook, all over Instagram, social media, so YouTube, even after testifying against a police officer, right? So, you know, guttural or hood or grimy activity, people who do those types of things, sell dope and all of that in the inner cities, okay, uh, they don't tend to gravitate towards those people, okay? But those people are hot or whatever the term is now, okay? But if somebody just freshly within days testified against a police officer, we know automatically that that person's being watched. That person might die. Okay, this us. Now, matter of fact, I won't even say us. I would just say us who have lived in inner cities, who understand, who've seen the misconduct, and know it firsthand, and know that they're not all shiny and and squeaky clean individuals, and they get their hands dirty and they do things that are well um out of the scope of what their job duties entail. We've seen bullying, we've seen false accusation, false incarceration, just harassment. We a lot of us have our own stories, and I have my own couple stories too as well for myself personally and members of my family to know good and well that in almost all the departments across the country, they are corrupt. There are at least a few corrupt individuals. Matter of fact, and I just say a few when it comes to maybe smaller towns that have not that many police officers. But as far as corruption, I would say half of a department is corrupt. Okay, whether it's just robbing people for their money, meaning like doing traffic stops and just taking their money out their wallets and letting them go, to being told to go to somebody's house in the middle of the night and harass them, for somebody that works for the prosecution office or the State Department or the city hall or something like that because they have a beef with them. And so, things like that, and everything in between, right? Racketeering, planting drugs, all that stuff, right? So I'm talking about, we know when we smell bullshit, we know that if somebody just testified against a police officer anywhere in America and was black, we're not going to be in that person's vicinity. We don't even want to be. So, especially if you're doing dirt, you don't want to be around this person. Don't nobody want to be around dude that's doing dirt because dude is hot. I don't want to be around dude and I'm doing something dirty. I know people are watching him. I know the police trying to figure out where he going and his move is trying to kill this nigga. So I'm just putting out this. That's what we'd be on. Like, they trying to kill him. We not gonna be around him because he hot. He got everybody on him. He got the spotlight on him. He's hot right now. Okay. So why would they go and try to buy weed from somebody that's hot, let alone travel 300 miles at least to a city to buy weed in a state that where it's illegal, but in your state it's legal, right? Okay, let's see what else. Like I said, I had to write some things down, so I didn't forget. He was connected to a police killing, um, and I just said that we know that niggas don't like to be around people. That's how he testified on a police officer. So we know that they ready to they watching him. The police are watching him. Okay. Um, they could have taken the weed from the evidence locker. As far as I'm concerned, they got guns. They be planting fake guns. They be having dummy guns in case they, get into some trouble, so they can plant it on the body and say, "Oh, look, the person had a gun. That's why I had to shoot him." Okay. Um, that you can easily get guns and whatever you confiscate from people from the evidence lockers. They could have got the weed from the evidence locker. I don't believe that shit. Okay. I already said weed was legal in Louisiana. What else did I write? So if in the hood or hood dudes or whatever inner city men who sell dope and and all in gang bang, they are not going to again to make business dealings with somebody who has the police on them. So obviously they were sent there to kill him. No one in their right mind, like if your homeboy was like, "Yo, we finna go to we finna go to Dallas, up here to Dallas, get some work," you know what I'm saying? And your dude like, okay, yeah, well, where we going? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You pull up, even if you don't even know until you pull up to do house, you be like, yo, oh man, nigga, you got me fucked up. I don't want no, dude, we need to leave. Get me out this motherfucking car. I don't even want to be around this shit because I know I ain't that the nigga on the TV. Oh nigga, no, you trying to set me up? I think it was a hit. Anybody dirty who's doing dirt don't want to be around, dude. Um, you know, and I know that they'll probably come up with some video, and I know most people are just gonna believe it like a dummy. But we are in a world where we can manipulate video and audio, deep fakes. So what makes you think that they wouldn't go to the full out extent to use that? Obviously, if it's technology, put it like this: any technology like that is already being used by military, or already had being used by military. That's who gets a lot of that type of shit first. So obviously, they've been using it. So I mean, that's a whole nother video questioning what the ramifications are and what they've done and how long they've done it for, with regards to things that happen in America, our relationships and relations and things and conflicts and whatnot with other countries, and what they say was said and what we saw and what maybe that wasn't what we saw. I mean, we're gonna go back to that September in that one year. I mean, I don't know. As people were saying was about airplanes, and then and maybe there wasn't an airplane, but it was a projection, and then they had the booms in the in the buildings that hey, special effects. They are talking about trying to put a fake moon in the sky. That's a whole nother video. So let me see. So I kind of went over that part, but also the judge. The judge knew what she was doing. The judge knew what she was doing. It wasn't about no but I just felt so, Jesus is in the room, and I felt this. I felt the spirit. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I felt the spirit. So God just spoke to me in that time, and I just couldn't help but to be like Jesus. Ha, shalala, shalala, babala, and go give her a Bible and say, let's pray. Hashamalala. The things that she's seen as a judge, she's seen some of the most horrific things, killings that were purely accidental, things, killings and things that took place with children, where children were testifying against people who, done things to them. I know, just being a judge, you go through all that stuff. So, and in those times, what about? I'm sure she hasn't stepped off the bench to console, some child that was some child that maybe was testifying against their parents for fucking starving them to death and raping them or some shit. You know what I mean? Even though that would be a a situation where you would step off the bench, or or somebody that accidentally killed their baby by rolling on over them, and they really truly accidentally killed the baby, and you just want to comfort them because they really are remorseful. They fucked up. You can tell they fucked up. You can tell in your heart that, man, that person really didn't mean to roll over their baby and kill their baby. But did she ever step down in any other case? No. She knows, by law, she knows that she fucked up, and have allowed this lady, this killer, to have an out, to get out. That she helped her. She knew what she was doing. She was helping her. It's strategic. But see, black people are very emotional. We don't think underneath shit, the motives underneath what people do. Yeah, on the surface, it may be a nice gesture. Having, I mean, we should know that by now, especially dealing with our own people. Like sometimes we have family and friends that, they be doing shit, but we don't want them to do shit for us because we know they'll throw that shit back up on our face, or it's something they won't, or they might, you know what I mean? So we when it comes to us and dealing with us, we always figure out that there is some underlining motive, but we're always cautious at dealing with certain people. We are looking at certain situations with a side eye. But when it comes to white folks, nah, all that shit go out the window. How many times, especially with Texas, Texas has a history of the whole weed thing. You know what I mean? White folks have manipulated us, the media, and manipulated the masses, black and white, and everything in between, and to thinking that the black man is some horrible monster, 10 feet tall gorilla, snatching babies, raping white women, drug dealing, drug abusing, rapist, baby eater, monster, right? Most of the images, if they're not homosexual, most of the images on your news, wherever your news people are, wherever it is, most news is about something negative a black man has done. When he robs somebody, whatever. Only time I see the opposite is if they're homosexual or they've done some nice gesture that involved a white person, like giving some white kids some shoes, or helping some white old lady cross the road, or shit like that. Okay, but all in all, and that does something to the psyche. It's very intentional, so it makes you believe that, hey, white and black people believe this: black men ain't shit. Black men are prone to violence, because that's what they project on the TV. That this is how these people act. They're prone to violence. But when white folks go and kill 50 people because they mad at their parents or some stupid shit, then it's that individual and it's mental health or it's guns. But again, what we're gonna see, she's gonna get off. I don't believe that in this whole narrative they're trying to paint. They did it with Sandra Bland. Oh, she was just so distraught, knowing she was gonna get out. I mean, like she was just gonna go up for murder. She was just so distraught that she asked somebody for weed, even though she was broke and didn't have any money. And people don't usually give away drugs for free, but maybe somebody just felt sad for her and just was like, you know what? Here's some weed. And she was so stricken with grief and just distress that she had to eat it. Alfred Wright, I think his name was Alfred Wright. There was a case in some little racist. Come to find out, it was a racist. The town was a racist town. It had a racist past, like a really bad, traumatic racist past, right? Probably a sundown town or something. Something. It was, goes back historically to being a one of those towns that I'm pretty sure, they did a lot of hangings and things like that, and mutilations and things. And so, long story long, he was just found in the woods. Um, I think either one of his ears was cut off or a nut was cut off or something. And they tried to say it was eaten by animals and he like some of his clothes is missing. And so, oh no, even though like the things surrounding it was suspicious, and you found out that he was messing with one of the sheriff's daughters, and I think he was cheating with the sheriff daughter of the town on his woman, and so yeah, but then okay, they said that yep, he was just got high and went in the woods and I don't know, you know. White people know that all they got to do because they've set everybody up mentally to view black men as drug dealers or weed smokers and black people period. That all they got to do is say, yeah, they are either gangbangers or it was weed involved or whatever. He had weed in the system. They even did it with Bopham, whatever his name is. Yeah, try to say he had weed. You see what I'm saying? Like, what does that matter? Did they go to Amber's apartment and see she had some weed? Because just because they cops don't mean they ain't drug addicts. They just had to fire a cop. I want to say in New York City because he overdosed on heroin. I believe it was heroin in his Sorry about that. I'm trying to make sure my fan keep going. Heroin in his squad car. A lot of them dope dealers because people are not dope dealers, drug addicts and alcoholics and shit like that. You know, just because somebody wears a uniform don't mean they Jesus Christ. Okay, so I mean that's about it. I just wanted to put that out there. I'm just like people like really like come on. But as black people, we already know white people don't believe that shit. They don't. They was looking for something to, because they stay on code, and there's a lot of white people that's down there that's saying like, the only reason why they even gave her any time anyway was because they didn't want to riot. And even though not that they don't believe that she probably killed dude for no, for not the reasons what she said, which was fear for her life, but just the fact that hey, she's white, he's black, he's a nigger, so he's a foreign nigger. What? So what? Yeah, she was in a wrong, but she has her whole life ahead of her. Everybody makes mistakes, right? While they're locking up our 14-year-olds, like 30 years. No, what? Everybody makes mistakes, and no, but no one wants to say out loud like in the olden days. That's why I have more respect for the older races from 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. Then it just outright say the shit, not cover the shit up. Yeah, no, they would say he's a nigger. We don't care about niggers. I mean, this sweet white woman here, she has her whole life ahead of her. She just made a mistake. I say just give her a little community service and keep her job because niggers' lives don't matter. Who the fuck cares? They're niggers. They're beneath us. But no one really wants to say that, especially out at least to other people and out in public. And it's just like that's what kills me with you people of today, your new generation. It's like just say the shit. Just say it. His life don't matter because he's a nigger. Who cares about a nigger, right? Nobody cares. Had it been a white man that she killed, y'all have been talking about gun laws and her mental health and police training, so it's obvious. I'm not one of them like, oh, let's sit down and talk. It's obvious. It's obvious because you're not slow at all. You're not stupid. You're not slow. But yeah, they said the only reason why they gave her was because they didn't want to riot. And most white people are like, the girl. Remember the girl who videotaped it? I don't even know if that. I watched parts of the trial, but I don't know if that was even admitted and submitted to the court for the jurors to see, because that proves that she did not administer aid. That girl who had the video, that and they ended up getting her fired. This is what I mean. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't have went through all that full out extent if it was a white man that she killed. They got this girl fired. Her credentials were stripped because she got her credentials through the company, meaning she must have like went to school and got her degree, and the company helped pay for the shit. So they took that shit back. So but she was the one that filmed filmed after hearing the gunshots, and she said that she wasn't talking to the police, she was talking to somebody. So she was explaining what happened, and she said she heard something to the effect of, why did you do that? So to me that sounds like she was probably talking to somebody else. She didn't call, she probably called her sergeant or someone like that. Probably, I mean, more than likely she called her fucking sergeant and was like, yo, I did this, woo, woo. Oh my God, like what the fuck. And they helped her craft an alibi. Okay? They helped her craft an alibi. Now the jury found her guilty, which means that they don't believe it was self-defense. Like you can't, also there was a video of the actual people who lived in the complex that was showing how you get inside the doors. It's doors that like kind of like in a lot of these hotels where it's a heavy door. So it even begs the question of, did they know each other? Did she have a key to his or key fob to his crib? Or did he know she was coming and she, like in some hotels you can put the little lock thing to where it kind of blocks the door, depending on what type of lock, like the chain deal, or maybe put the rug in the door so it wouldn't close all the way. So maybe he knew she was coming. Maybe he was the one that she was sexting. Yeah. They're going to cover all of that up. But it really is this whole thing is a testament of white supremacy and how the police unit, the police, and most of the police organizations around the country, most of them that are in the ranks are in some way criminals, or have done something that is criminal, or have seen someone abuse their authority and power, and not have done anything about it, because you be a duck like a duck in the water and let the waves roll off your back. Kind of like the same shit that happens in every single industry, from the corporate America, where you see that you see that tit for tat, and and things that managers may do certain things, or you may that is against, it's not favorable to the company, and if it were to get out, it would cost the company probably some money and a lawsuit, and definitely a hit to their reputation. But it's like all that bullshit, but no one says nothing. It's in every industry, bullying and doing shit, trying to get people fired and shit like that. So it's in every industry. They're no different, and and I want to know a little bit more about how a lot of these gangs were founded. I know, obviously they're slave patrol, but there's some interesting stories that have come out, in, like, for example, in Chicago or Chicago area. A lot of them were comprised initially of, I want to say, Irish gangs, or militia, and then they formed, and so this type of stuff isn't going to stop. It's not going to stop, because first of all, we we view white people as Jesus, because Jesus and the God that they gave to us looks like them. So if it looks like them, then they must be holy too, or they must be a part of holy seed of the holy bloodline. It's all psychological. We're not going to stop. And and a lot of us want a seat at the table. A lot of us want to be sheep than cattle, or rather be sheep than cattle. And a lot of us are scared. A lot of us just, feel helpless and like there's nothing to do. There's nothing they can do. And, they got children to feed and be like a duck in the water, let the waves roll off your back. Huh? So, but I'm going to get out of here off of that. I just really wanted to kind of gather my thoughts. I have put something on Facebook. I think I'm going to start another live about fucking um, centralized banking system. At any rate, yeah. So I think I'm gonna end it at there. End it there. It's. I smell a setup. Something just don't sit right. I don't believe it, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna come. They're gonna miraculously find some video of the whole altercation, which I'm not even gonna believe either, because in today's world you can't believe shit. It's easy. It's by via an app. You can download an app and make whatever you want to make nowadays. You can make people, say shit that they ain't said. You can, there's a lot of things that you can do. And that's what apps that we have. Just imagine the type of technology that they have. The high, they have the better quality of that particular technology. So I don't believe that shit. I won't believe it. The things that I've experienced in my life, I know that they are capable of doing this shit. I'm sure that the people, the boys that came to Louisiana, was told to do it, either because one of them was an informant and they were told this is what they had to do, or they were taken from out of the jail. It was like, this is what you're going to go do. If you want time off, your sentence, this is what you're going to go do. And they've done this shit. There was a gentleman back when they was investigating for WMDs, and there was a dude, a black man happened to be, that wouldn't say that they had WMDs, and they tried to coerce him in so many ways of saying that they did so that we can go over there, because that the country was on a list of countries that was publicly stated that we wanted to basically fuck up, right? And Iraq, I mean not Iraq, but Iran is the last one. But anyway, took a chick from out of lockup and told her that was already, or not out of lockup, but had, was been in and out of jail and prison and stuff, and made it look like, she was interested in him romantically. They started hooking up and things like that. She was coming over, and she was able to take some documents that were, classified documents per his level of security level, and have and sneak them in his house. And I forgot what happened, but then they played it like came over, whatever, and they found these documents, which was espionage. They tried to charge him when he went to jail. It's a long thing about that. So if they're gonna do it today, if they do it to their own people, they'll do it to us in a heartbeat. So and with that, I think that I am going to end this live.